Saturday morning, June 16th, 2018. My name's Swagadelic. Good morning. And I met God last year in 2017. And God told me to hold heaven dear. After I met him, he handed me the light of God. And then he told me, Armageddon's here, to hold heaven dear. Well, he told me we had a mother, and that's what we're here to talk about. He told me a lot of things. He told me to move out of the city, and I did. But we're here to talk about Mother Earth this morning. He said we live inside our mother's belly, the earth, and we feed just like a female feeds her baby. We feed on Mother Earth. We're supposed to take care of all the animals here and eat them as a certain way. If we eat meat, we're supposed to eat it. We're supposed to boil it and get the blood out of it. We're not supposed to eat blood, God said, because it's got your spirit in it. It's got your soul in it, your own blood, and the animals have their spirit in blood. God told me that our souls run throughout our entire body, and our souls are in our blood, is what God told me. I do not know what God told you. I only know what God told me. That our souls run through every inch of our body. And our souls basically are in our blood. That's why you die when you bleed out. Your soul leaves your body. Your soul doesn't leave your body every time you bleed. You just bleed. But your soul runs throughout your blood and your entire body. That's what God said. That's what he told me. Well, he told me we had a mother. Everyone thinks we don't for some reason, that we only have a dad. But we do have a mommy, and it's Earth. And I spend every Saturday since I met God cleaning up the earth and talking about ways to make Mother Earth better. The war's coming up, World War III. I met God, and we do get sneak attacked by North Korea. It's a given. You can bet your whole house on it, baby. It's gonna happen. Why? Because God told me. And God's word is true. God does not lie. Armageddon is here. Whole heaven dear. I met God last year. I celebrate in August coming up, meeting him. The only real holidays I celebrate now isn't my birthday. Is basically Jesus' birth, Jesus' death, and when I met God as the holidays I celebrate. So in August, I'll celebrate, have a big bash, baby. And for Christmas, I'll do the same thing that I did this year. I walked around asking young people if they knew whose birthday it was. And only 1 out of 30 kids under the age of 18 to 20 knew whose birthday it was. That's anywhere I went. And for Easter, they didn't know anything. Again, only 1 in 30 knew Easter wasn't about some egg and hiding it. And Christmas wasn't about some present. It's not supposed to be like that. It's going to change, God said, and go back to how it's supposed to be, where you give the gift of love for Christmas. You don't have to have a church. It's supposed to be your home that you take turns getting together in on a Saturday and a Sunday. Saturdays for Mother and Sundays for him, he said. So I'm here to talk about ways to clean up Mother Earth. God said that when the war starts, all the craters that are made by the nuclear bombs that Kim Jong-un sends over here on a sneak attack, make big craters and holes. And what we do is we have these gigantic tanks that are as big as homes that go real slow. We put tractor fronts on them that are as big as an 18-wheeler. And we bulldoze all the remaining bodies, homes, cars, everything into these giant craters. And we spray chemicals and stuff in them to help deaden the radiation. Is where we start trying to clean up the mess, the war that we make called Armageddon. It's a start. After the war, we start cleaning up too by banning nuclear missiles and nuclear power plants for life. It becomes illegal to have either in your possession. And then God said we go into the age of nuclear science and computer science. So that's what I'm trying to get young people now into taking when they go to school, either nuclear science or computer science. I know they're two tough fields. I'm trying to go in it myself. I've registered, and I'm trying to do it. I just have so much to do before Getty comes that I haven't had time to actually start going to school yet. But I'm registered and everything's ready to go to take computer science. I'm going to go the full 8 years. I'm probably going to start right when the war comes and go for 8 years of computer science. I'm not intelligent at all, but I want to go to see what's going to happen and to see what I can learn with computer science and try and get my master's. I think it would be a good thing to do to help clean up the earth. Right now, you can do as I do, move out the cities, and when you're picking a town to move into, you can go clean up a spot of that town before you pick it to move into. Go anywhere in the town and pick a spot. Just pick a spot and take 10 foot of it. Take everything, every bit of trash that's on the neutral ground, and that dig right under the roots and find anything that's been there and is laying there. Put it in a box or a bag and bring it home and dump it all out and go through it. God said you can tell by the trash in the town, by the trash on the ground. So that's something you can do to help clean up and to see where you want to live. If you find needles and drug baggies and dead babies, well, you don't want to move there. If you find condoms on the ground, needles, and all kind of stuff, and baggies of dope, you do not want to move there. God said to do that. He told me to do it. I did it in the town I lived in. The only thing I found was cigarette packs, beer bottles, a few whiskey bottles, candy wrappers, McDonald's bags, and that was about it. And that's pretty good for cleaning up a town. They don't have problems like other cities have, big cities and stuff. Some spots have more, some spots have less. So when you're going to pick a town, you take me seriously that Armageddon's here, and you want to move out the city, and you have a town in mind, clean up a spot, a section, take 10 feet, 20 feet, whatever you want to take. You know, I took a whole corner and I cleaned up a whole block, you know, and that's the only trash I found in the town that I live in. And that'll make your decision if you want to live in that town or not. If it's got a lot of drugs on the ground, then you don't want to live in that town. Move on, find another town. Because when Armageddon hits, those people that are doing evil will personify and do more evil. God said, you know, when we get hit, a third of the world, as it says in the Bible, will be contaminated for 1,000 years. Unfortunately, that means a third of America. So I'm guessing 5% of America will actually be hit with nuclear missiles. And then the radiation that goes out from the nuclear missiles will contaminate a third of America for 1,000 years. My guess is too the government put fences up everywhere, and we actually start to clean up the place. God told me that the oil rigs that are out in the Gulfs, once we use up all the oil for the war and fight over it, that we go into the age of wind and solar power big time before we invent the machines that run on nuclear power with no byproduct of waste. We amp up into wind and solar power where we do not need oil anymore. The reason why is from the first year of the war, there is no more gas in locations that got hit or outside of locations that got hit. And the gas that there is and locations that can still get gas is going to be $10 a gallon the first year of the war. And it's not going to be affordable to have a gas car. Government's going to give money for cars at some point. You'll get a check for your car. I don't know how much it'll be. It'll probably be Blue Book value for it. And if you have good credit, you can go in and buy an electric car like I did. And a wind turbine generator is what you want to do. Don't go buy one without the other. If you're going to go buy an electric car, buy a wind turbine generator. God told me to do it. I did not know, and mine works wonderful. All the power I have now is totally self-sustainable from my wind turbine generator. It does everything and more. So when you're thinking about buying an electric car too, I bought a Nissan Leaf as what I bought. It's the best car out in the market. God said any car will do. If you can afford a Tesla, I'd tell you to buy one of those. And I tell you, if you can afford a new one, that's good. But, even if you can, buy one 2 years old. You always get a better deal when you buy one 2 years old. My car was like $35,000 new. I bought it 2 years old and cut the price in half. It only has $20,000 on it. So, and it's a great little car. I've had it through the winters, summer, and it's really worked great. But I lived in South Florida, where I moved from. There are no fueling stations down there, but you can buy, along with your car, the 220 outlet to plug into someone's house, or the 110, and live, with 125 miles on my Nissan Leaf. And it's got generators in the tower and the tires. On my Nissan Leaf, if I go 25 miles an hour, I never have to stop for fuel to recharge it. I regenerate power because I have regenerating generators in all my tires. And I regenerate the power. I can drive forever. I have to drive slow, but I can drive forever in my car. So buy one with regenerating generators in the tires. And it's going to help clean up Mother Earth. My imprint is nothing now. I bought a lot of canned goods for the war, and I'm going to do something with them all. As I use them, I save them. I take them and clean them out, and I save them. I got a big pile out back of them. I don't know what to do with them, but I will find something to do with them. I think I'm going to take them and hang them up around my fence as bells for when wolves and stuff try to come on my land. Like I said, you can use something for everything. So there you have it, folks. It's Saturday morning. I'm going to start doing services from my location, Light of God. I'm going to have another channel, the Light of God, and I'm going to do services from it, and I'm going to keep my Swagadelic Love channel too, because I love my Swagadelic Love. So I'm going to have a couple of different channels. I have a website called thelightofgod.love. So I'm going to roll with that one, and I'm going to keep this one. I love shooting videos. I love talking about God, not so much the war, but Armageddon is here. And I guess you could say I prophesy, I guess. I don't say that. I just say what God told me is getting ready to happen. I know a lot that's getting ready to come up in the future that I don't talk about, but I know a lot of things that are getting ready to get done in the next 50, 100,000 years. You would not believe all the stuff that I know. I know up until about 10,000 years from now of things that are going to happen in the next 10,000 years for sure. I'm writing a log of it. Not like Nostradamus, like the people in the Bible that met God when Jesus handed them the light of God. And angels told them, like God and the angels tell me, things that are definitely sure to be. There's definitely going to be a 200-mile-an-hour train that runs around America like a race car track. And Tesla's 18-wheelers are going to deliver food and stuff, supplies from it. From the first day of the war, there's definitely going to be no more Walmart. You and your neighbors will have, in your garden, you'll have gardens. Every home will have a garden again. And then on every block, what's left of America, well, your neighbors will have signs out. We wash clothes. We make clothes. We grow figs and make fig preserves. And you'll walk down the street and you'll actually get to know your neighbors again. And you'll actually buy things from your neighbors and you'll trade just like it's meant to be. It's not meant to be where the countries that are going to attack us, we buy their stuff too. So, you know, we buy, everything comes from China. And China did get Kim set up in the drug game, making chemical drugs 25 years ago when China wanted to open up to the West, is what God told me. We find all the evidence of it when we invade North Korea. Every little town and city that's left that we didn't lay waste to, we find a dungeon underneath it with people that are in there that have been locked up in there for years. And we find chemical labs to make chemical drugs, the chemical little baggies with the marijuana in it, the chemical baggies with the methamphetamines, with the cocaines and all the other stuff, and this new stuff out on the market called Korean dust, the stuff we actually get sneak attack with too. It's a chemical. His scientists and his chemists figured out a way to make it stick and make it times a million. That means times a million of the little bit you buy and you do, and you get high and horny on, and you get wild and crazy, times a million. In other words, your glands, all your glands get stuck on wide open. There is no cure, and you slowly die from infection from it. That's going to clean itself up. God said to stay inside for a week when the war comes, because it takes a week for the snowflakes that we get attacked with in snowflake form in the missiles to slowly evaporate in the air, or a hard rain can wash it away. God told me love and light is trapped inside of a demon, is what a God told me. I do not know what a God told you. I only know what a God told me. And a God, well, he told me everything, baby. Swagadelic beaming out.